Everything must change, nothing stays the same. Everyone will change, no one stays the same. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold. For that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life we can be sure of.
Here we go. 2,500 for one night, which was second week in one spring.
We must address public safety issues, especially simple access to sidewalks.
Housekeepers not handcuffs. Homes not zones. Homes not zones.
This is why I'm proposing no camping zones around every pumpkin adopted. First by Public Works Committee, and then by City Council.
Hey, we got everything we needed. Good job.
Go, let's go! Go, let's go!
The next 6 months learning how to walk in those shoes, and then it's going to be over. It's tough.
People, wake up! They're going to be giving you booster shots forever. This is never going to end. Take your mask. Make a big pile out of your mask.
Do not comply to the mask mandates! If you're complying to the mask mandate, you've already signed up for the
We love you!
Just ask what you're doing here.
Oh yeah, I am. So what's the problem with that?
I'm just giving you.
This is my First Amendment right, just like you all.
I'm just giving you
Okay,
my
but no,
opinion.
but I didn't ask for it. I didn't. So my freedom of speech is right here in my way. Get out of the way. I wasn't even thinking about you. You came to me. You invaded my First Amendment right now. You invaded my freedom of speech. Thank you. Now stay away from me.
I was trying to communicate to you, bro.
You're in my way. Now go.
I don't want to be filmed by you either. So I didn't give you permission to film me. So if you're filming me, don't film me, okay? You don't have my permission.
It's amazing how they always talk about their freedom, but they can't respect everybody else's freedom. So that tells you all of what you want to know about the anti-maskers movement.
You're compliant.
Be ready for this guy.
You can get the camera out of my face too.
You're coming to me. You came all the way to me. You came all the way to me, okay?
Don't put the camera in our face, Doc.
I can put anything I want. This is
And you know what? You don't like me being here, then you can leave.
This is a public area, sir. You have the right to say what you want, okay?
This is America.
You know what BLM stands for? Buy large mansions.
That's fine. That's fine.
2022 is going to stand for buy large
This is
mansions.
America. You don't like it? Go to other countries.
Made a sheep flake.
Gentlemen, you talk straight.
John Taylor's family even said they're abroad.
This is America. This is the American right.
In the United States of America, and I am granted my right.
Good morning, this is Theo Henderson from Unhoused. We are here today to have a very serious meeting with LASA, and that is for some of the concerns that have been raised with the unhoused community. UTAC, which stands for Unhoused Tenants Against Carceral Housing. We're meeting with some key leadership here to express our concerns and the direction that we'd like to see and how we want to be treated further on. On site here is one of our residents, the famous artist that we featured in one of our We the Unhoused series. Mr. Michael, tell us a little bit about what you expect to come when here.
My purpose for truly coming is because I have a story to tell of a most recent and unfortunate situation where I was exited from a Project Home Key, but without reason, without telling me why.
What do you want to get out of this? Do you want to get back into the home key, or what do you want?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so.
And I want them to understand that this is my single oath. And I also want them to make a personal inquiry, not on surface, but in depth. Investigation on this particular person who was the nighttime manager It's just, and because his actions, not only that particular night, but from the time that I got there up until things happened, has been very, very unprofessional towards me, without me having given him reasons to be that way. And so I feel that his unprofessionalism, for me, has been the core of our problem.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I think he should be either retrained or simply just moved. Because where I was, there's nothing but elderly people there who was trying to, get along in life, and he's making even for them hard for them to be there. And there's no sympathy on his part. And he does not think that he's wrong in what he's doing. And that's crazy.
Michael, hopefully we can get some answers, and basically hopefully we can have a positive outcome for this meeting.
You're watching Wheel of 4118! And welcome back. As always, I'm Host Teeth with the most teeth. Theo, are you ready to play?
I'm so confused.
Sounds good. Now, let's spin the Wheel of 4118!
What's 4118?
It's the specific LA Municipal Code that City Council members are trying to amend so that unhoused people like you, yes, you, would be arrested for sitting, sleeping, or lying down outside.
What? I don't want to leave.
You can't! Now let's take a look at these amazing prizes. Behind curtain number 1 is a police officer who will arrest you.
Yeah, that's a good prize for him.
If 4118 passes, all police have to do is offer a vague promise of shelter, and if you decline it, they will put you in handcuffs.
But there aren't enough shelters for the unhoused in LA.
Yeah, man, it's just a formality.
Can you even do that?
How about I just give you this raincoat? That's technically shelter if you put it over yourself. And if you say no, you go to jail.
This is awful.
That's Hollywood, baby. And behind curtain number 2 is... Oh, it's the police again. You'll be arrested. That's your other option.
What? That's terrible.
Call your city council members by November 24th to reject Prop 4118 and tell them house keys, not handcuffs!
This is not a test. This is not a movie. This is an announcement of the commencing of 4118, 6344, and 5611. Violence against the unhoused, physical and by proxy, has been sanctioned by the City of Los Angeles. Next-door vigilantes, as well as business improvement districts, have been authorized to commit violence. Housed people of all races, including LAPD, City Council, and the Mayor, have been restricted and shall not be harmed. Effective immediately, all acts of violence against the unhoused will be allowed. This includes hits and runs, murders, serial killing, and arson. Police officers will look the other way and provide you the authorized excuse of blowing off steam. Videos of aforementioned violence are also sanctioned. If you are questioned about your acts of violence, blame the unhoused community and we will prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. We will kill them. May our capitalist and white supremacist founding leaders reign again. God bless each and every one of you.
place to a homeless shelter.
Probably isn't the best location because there's at least 20 young children that just live within this street.
Their behavior could be unpredictable. We're speaking for the community saying, we don't want this at this site.
If you don't take down your tent, then you have to go through an AA program. If you don't take down your tent, you're going to go to jail.
Hey guys, I want to explain exactly where I am. You could see that bridge down there. That is downtown Maysville. So we're just to the east of that bridge. Now you can look at the flood wall. Take that flood wall down to that wooded area. That's where the small homeless camp was until this morning when city workers were ordered to remove it.
Oh, I'm so mad.
A Maysville woman live on Facebook this morning expressing her anger.
Look at that. Just burning all their stuff.
She said she had tears in her eyes as she watched a small homeless camp burn along the riverbank.
So those items that you just burnt were items donated by me and my family to two men that did not have a home.
Nobody wants you to build low-cost housing near their house. People don't want it near them. We got something in this country, you've heard of it, it's called NIMBY, N-I-M-B-Y. Not in my backyard. People don't want any kind of social help located anywhere near them. You try to open up a halfway house, try to open up a rehab center for drugs or alcohol. People say, not in my backyard. People don't want anything near them, especially if it might help somebody else.
Road in the street. Take them somewhere else. I would make a compound out in the middle of the desert.
Why do you want them in the desert? That's I just
no. Because they got room out there. They can build a great compound out there. Bathrooms, and a store, and places for them to go.
Well, actually, I want to know really honestly, but I don't want to be smart ass. Why do you don't like the Unhoused?
Pardon me?
Why don't you like the Unhoused?
Why don't you like the Unhoused? Why don't I like what?
Unhoused. That being
They're jumping my fence. They're stealing stuff from us. They have nowhere to go. They make a mess. They crap everywhere.
Can you tell me where there's a porta potty anywhere here for them to go to the bathroom?
No.
Okay, then why?
Put one. Put one.
Okay, who's gonna put one? They can't do it. If they had the means, they would do it.
You're the city.
I'm not the city. I'm the reporter. So I'm just trying to figure out. This is the city. They don't have it. They don't care where they go. They go to bed at night and they don't give another thought about displacement. This is their joy. So why would
people can't even walk down here anymore?
Okay. Well, what do you suggest?
Take them somewhere else. Make them a compound somewhere.
But why?
They don't want to go to housing.
Why do they don't want to go to housing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe. Have you ever asked?
No.
Well, I know one of the reasons why, because I'm out here too. Is one of the things is they act like they're in prison. They treat them like they're prisoners, and they are free citizens like you and I. That's
They're out here smoking dope during the day.
All right, that's a legitimate,
up.
that's a legitimate thing. There are people out here with substance usage. Okay, here's the thing, the solution for that. Why don't we create, as you a citizen, tax member, create places for them to be able to get the help they need? Because there's not anything out here.
Most of them don't want help.
Oh, that's the question I always hear.
They don't want help.
Actually, they do want help. They want to be treated like a human being, not like a prisoner. There's the difference where when we have that, it's like we are supposed to be dominating them and accepting what we give out to them. For example, if I came in and kicked in your door in your house and told you you had 10 minutes to leave, and I took all your other personal property and threw it in the trash, you would be upset.
Yeah. Okay.
They do that the same thing. These are American citizens. They have the right to work. Believe it or not, did you know that people here work? Sometimes, yeah. Surprise you. They pay taxes.
No.
Did you know that they pay taxes?
No.
Oh, no. Oh, yes, they do.
Let's see that.
Yes, they do. They absolutely do. They work. They pay taxes. They get stimulus like everyone else. And here's the funny thing about it. They don't get the same rights as you and I. So what do you think about that? How would you like it if you pay taxes? You're an American citizen, right? You got an ID.
Show me they paying taxes. Show me this guy's paying taxes.
I can tell you this is where to show that. You go to a store. Do you go and steal stuff? You don't steal stuff. You don't look like it. You feel like an upstanding guy. That guy goes and buys stuff too. That goes to the government. That's not
talking nickels and dimes.
Oh, well, but it doesn't
They don't
matter.
have a job.
They're still American citizens. The point is, if they did that to you would be up in arms. Would you be angry about that? Of course. They're the same way.
Give them a place.
Okay, here's another thing. Why is it every time when I have they need a place to stay, and when we talk about building supportive housing in the neighborhood area, everybody goes up in arms. You wouldn't have to see this.
Build them a compound out in the desert. You can make them a beautiful place out there.
But why is it that they have to go somewhere else because they're part of the
Because they're not welcome here.
All the while, here they have been giving out ice cream. Celebrate the misfortune. How surreal is this? Look over there. What do you notice? Look. The home is being torn and they're sitting up here celebrating like nothing's happening. Oh yeah, well there we go. Keep on. Yeah.
I'm not living here.
Get out of here. 24 hours, I'm gonna fucking torch this. Get the out.
Excuse
Get the
me.
out. Get the out. You don't belong here. Get out.
What'd you call Adam?
You're recording me, but you're living in a homeless encampment?
I'm recording because I'm having a conversation with the lady, and you come threatening us?
No, you cannot live here.
We're not living here. We're hanging out here.
Get out.
We are hanging out here.
No, you're not.
Okay, you can't just threaten us like this.
Get your
It is a public park. I don't know what your problem is.
No, you're not gonna live here. You are not gonna live here.
I didn't say I was gonna live here.
Get the out.
I'm hanging out here just like she is.
You have 24 hours.
And what authority do you have? You're just gonna come burn our tent?
Tell me you live in here. You are.
I didn't say I was living here. We're enjoying a quiet day, and you people are harassing us.
Those people. But when we have drug addicts causing crimes in our neighborhoods, feeding their habits with things like Prop 47 protecting them, everyone knows. I don't think I need to educate anyone here on Prop 47. But you can steal how much? $950, not per day, per incident. To feed your habit, you can walk into a store, steal that amount, and it's still considered petty theft. Affectionately called Murderer's Row over here, right? Okay. I don't know if they like that, but these are the group of ladies that when I come home and I have a tough day, I go online and I see them backing up what I've been doing.
Thank you for your time. Good luck, guys. Good luck. You guys just follow these guys around all day long? Or?
Yeah, but basically watch the NIMBYs come by and harass the unhoused people. So, basically.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that are housed, they usually come by, terrorize, and set them on fire.
I know.
We try to do it.
It's not fun for anybody. There is, I know, the city, from what they told me, they built a homeless shelter a few blocks away.
Actually, the NIMBYs shot that one down, saying that they didn't want
they
to
opened it.
You mean the tiny sheds are you talking about?
No. Literally, like a few blocks away from here, there's a new homeless shelter that opened.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know that there's, places they can live. I mean, I own a business here, and I've been here for almost 30 years, and it's just getting worse.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course. Usually it's because of NIMBYism, we don't want unhoused people around them. And usually when they talk about doing supportive housing instead of shelters, if you ask the average unhoused person, they don't want to go to shelter. They want to be in a home. They don't like living out here. But NIMBYs usually talk about they don't want them there because they think over 60,000 unhoused people, the ones, the elderly, the ones that are disabled, they all are drug addicts. They all are criminals. No. I'm telling you what they're telling me. They're saying that.
Oh, yeah.
They're saying that.
I mean, there's obviously a lot of reasons why people are homeless and chronic homelessness.
They're not trying to hear that.
Yeah.
They're basically trying to say a bunch of unhoused people, all of them are criminals, all of them are drug addicts, all of them, exactly.
So what is your solution, or do you have one?
Yes, get tougher, criminalize the NIMBYs, basically run them out in the neighborhoods so we can be able to get them off the streets and have people stop complaining about it. But the city and the police, they give over $3.1 billion to police officers and less than $500,000 to
deal with the services for people out in the street. But the reason why they get over $3.1 billion is because NIMBYs keep pushing the police to do and criminalize unhoused people, which makes no sense. They can't jail them all into, put them in jail. They can't shoot them all into it.
You can't throw money at it. I mean, you got to get more.
NIMBYs are the ones that are being coddled, and that's the point of it. And you're going to continue to see this. People are going to come out here, see unhoused people on the street. They're going to complain, and then we say, okay, we got a solution. Let's put some permanent support. Oh, no. They got to bring drugs. They might poor defensive children, and all of this kind of stuff. Not knowing that they got unhoused families out here, not knowing they got elderly, a population that's growing, and there are NIMBYs that telling them that they got to find a job. Some of them are on cancer and all of this stuff. So you have all of this money that they're putting out here is a result of NIMBYs. Until we handle the issue and get tough on them, hold them and put them in jail, take their money away, and put these people in the housing, you're still going to have this, because NIMBYs are never going to sit still for this. I guarantee you, in a few months, NIMBYs going to complain about unhoused people running around just living. They're already complaining about them on the tents. So what do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to be okay with having that shelter there? No. Watch.
Yeah, you bring up some valid points on that. But, I mean, because it's almost like a big game of whack-a-mole. They move them here, and then they go 2 blocks down over there, and it's not. You move, and then those NIMBYs are going to complain, call it 3.1. They don't want them there. But then when you say, okay, let's build a supportable housing that they can be in, and you don't have to see them, they go into a rage. I mean, well, I don't know if you have affordable housing here. I don't know if
they can be affordable housing.
Yeah, there can be, but I mean, it looks like from what I saw, I haven't done research on it, but the affordable housing was $800. Some of it was $800,000 a unit, and that's not sustainable as a society throwing that kind of money.
Do you know why it's not sustainable? It's because we pay over $3.1 billion to a police officer. That's over 54% of the budget. Every other from recreation services, housing services, pet service, anything else that we deal with as citizens, we don't have a say so at all. But we have people that constantly, and this is not only they're asking for another $67 million to demonize and criminalize unhoused people. And this makes no sense. Our budget is bloated for police, and that is it. I don't care. Even you're a taxpayer as well. You're not getting any of your services back.
No, absolutely not. And so that's what kind of gets me upset, because I own a small business and I do pay a lot of taxes, and I don't
perfect example
any resources.
And you know where your money is going to? That $3.1 billion on the LAPD. That's crying to say the minute when we say, hey, your budget, you're making too much money. We don't have enough money to do anything else in the city. They start crying, well, crime's going to go up. We may not come to help you. They're creating this fear mongering. And the fact of the matter, we're just paying them to just basically demonize poor people that have, punching someone while they're down. We could take that money and then deal with the situation. Did you also know that they're already in the coffers? They have over $11 billion. So this thing could have been solved without using Triple H. It could have been solved long before, but they choose not to because they know this is a big money. All they got to do is get people out here. They say, "Oh my God, here come these horrible people. Let's get rid of them, and then get more $3.1 billion. Let's get another $67 million. Let's give them another $3 billion. Pretty soon, 75% of the budget is going to be for the police, and nobody else is going to have nothing. You, me, nobody else. We're all going to be sitting here allowing these thugs to be able to just like some kind of mafia thug just bleed us dry until we don't have any money."
Well, you bring up some good points. I don't agree with everything you say 100%. I admire your passion. I like the fact that you're actually trying to make a difference in this world.
Well, that's definitely so. And I'm trying to make sure that people do not have to live like this. There's no reason. There's no reason
anyone should. What's your name?
My name is Theo Henderson. I have a show called Unhoused, and I go and document these kind of circumstances to educate people on just exactly where our money is being spent and why it takes us to demonize a people, because you think that they are living in the lap of luxury. People are running around talking about they're living in mansions, having caviar and partying. This is not some kind of luxury kind of living.
It's a crime that in this country that we have people living like this.
And the larger context in Palestine, this is some of the displacement that they have to go through. Only it's more of they're throwing bombs on them and hurting them. So this is a global context that people that are just doing this job, they say they're just doing the job, but they close their eyes at night not knowing that the trauma that they've inflicted on people, where they could have said, you know what, I don't have to do this job. I can speak out and say, you know what, this is wrong. We should be doing something else instead of demonizing people and just paying a paycheck, because we could be a medical emergency away from out on the street. We could be a recession away from out on the street. We could be another pandemic away from out on the street. And here is where our $3.1 billion are being spent.
All right, Theo.
All right, now.
Good to talk with you. I appreciate your insights.
No problem. Right. You have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
We're speaking for the community, saying we don't want this at this site. They're chronically homeless people that would be housed there and addicted or mentally ill, and their behavior could be unpredictable.
I do think that there are progressives, I don't know if it's progressive policy, but progressives in places like California who have made terrible decisions. And so one of those terrible decisions is essentially doing away with anti-camping laws, right? Allowing people to camp out wherever they want, whenever they want. And if, like, we have a homeless problem in California. We have it all throughout the country, but it's particularly bad in California. And so the argument is, well, if there isn't public housing available for people, they should be allowed to camp out. Okay, but there's also a problem right now where there is public housing available and individuals will say, no, I don't want to take it. I don't want to follow the rules in the public housing. And so as a result, I would rather camp out. Progressive lawmakers are like, we should allow them to camp out. And you know what happens? Crime happens. Open air drug markets happen. And it's the truth. These are the facts of the matter. In fact, it was addressed in this Daily Beast article, and honestly, it was cathartic to read it because everyone denies that this is happening.
I started looking at what the politicians were saying, and they were involved in this housing. I thought, this is all my patients on the street. These are drug addicts. I was in Sacramento last week. They said 90 to 95% on meth. In Los Angeles, it's mental illness and drug addiction. That's it. Housing will do. We, of course, need places to put these people, but they're not going, and they won't get better if you don't do these other things I'm suggesting.
Hey guys, we're going to do the homeless problem side quest in South Park Stick of Truth. And you start this off by going to City Hall. And once you're in City Hall, talk to the mayor and she will start you the quest. Now the quest objective is to clear 7 homeless camps. And I'm going to show you all 7 locations for that. To start off, we're going to go into the sewers. And there's 4 camps in the sewers. Once you get down into the sewers, make your way over to Mr. Hankey's house. And let's pick up his actual side quest as well, which is locating all his children. So after you've picked the quest up, continue onwards. And the first one is going to be, you can see the first child right above me there. So if you go up this ladder and loop around to the left, you'll find him. But after you do that, head back to the right. And then you're going to meet your first homeless person here, the first homeless camp. Sitting there waiting to ambush you, right? If you go to the right and then down the second ladder, there's going to be one of Mr. Hankey's children down here, as well as another homeless camp. So head back over here to the right, and then you're going to ambush with another homeless person right there. So heading back here to the left, And it'll be popping out of that garbage right there. And the fifth one is going to be in the back of the used storage truck. Now, you may have already run across some of these, and if you've already killed them before getting the quest, don't worry, it'll count towards the quest. The sixth one is going to be to the right of Kenny's house, so fast travel to Kenny's, and it'll be this dude by the car. And the seventh and final one, so fast travel back to your own house and head left. And this is a pretty well-hidden area. So after you take these guys out, you've completed the quest. You just have to go turn it in, so go talk to the mayor.
Thanks, kid. Your work helping with the homeless of South Park will never be forgotten. Here's your cash.
You are unmuted.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone. I am listening to some of the conversations, and it's very disconcerting to hear that in an epidemic that we have that's going on with the pandemic and the result of a lot of poor policy making, that the solution is secretive enforcement of displacing unhoused members. I am appalled, to tell you the truth, because none of the people that I've heard so far have any experience of houselessness. And I dare say that if it was the result of you being unhoused, you wouldn't know how to survive for a week. So it is really bizarre to me.
I'm not quite sure that you know that many of us have not experienced that. Like, I'm not quite sure because none of us.
Excuse me, please let me finish talking. I did not interrupt you, and I would like to finish my statement.
But you're
excuse me.
Go ahead.
Let me finish my talk, my statement. You can postulate whatever you want to say afterwards.
Go ahead.
But this is the fact of the matter: is
Theo, I'm sorry, but I do appreciate your comments, but this forum is really intended for our neighborhood group to talk about the Echo Park Lake, our goals for that lake, and our goals for a compassionate offer of shelter for the individuals experiencing homelessness at the lake. We welcome people to participate in this conversation who share that perspective, but this is a private neighborhood group, and so we're not here to debate that kind of central point of view.
Behind a picture here, house keys, not handcuffs. He was going to use, especially with the cooperation of Friends of Echo Park Lake, that if they, excuse me, would be working better.
I live here.
So what?
Don't cross the street there. And your stupid dog. Yeah, right. You're out here protesting.
Yeah, we're protesting because I live here too. We're community members too. Say excuse me. That's simple as that. What is?
They tried hard last year to form a narrative that we're lazy, that we're all criminals, that we're drug addicts, and that's not the case. That's not the case. It was, when I became homeless, it was the biggest blessing in my life, because guess what happened? I was still me. So if I'm still me, whether I'm in a home or outside, that means everyone else is still just them. There is no distinction, there is no separation. And this is the truth. This is the truth that has to come to light, because people are being mistreated off of false narratives.
As you see the ducks over there, and we just had a couple of heaters.
Oh, wait, this lady came with a baseball bat? What she want to do with her baseball bat?
Oh, yes, that's the woman that was running around being aggressive.
Yeah.
So as you can see, this is right here, the woman has a baseball bat trying to be aggressive.
What, you want to hit people with your baseball bat?
No, I don't want anybody calling me a because I want to walk my dog.
You want to hit people with a baseball bat? Would you talk with your baseball bat? How are you trying to escalate this?
As you can see, here's an example of a NIMBY that has a baseball bat pushing through.
Hey everybody, I just want to inform you that one of these so-called NIMBYs who's not in my backyard has come with a baseball bat, some form of intimidation. Why? You got words, use them to talk. You want to need that baseball bat.
I did.
Well, you didn't say excuse me, you went right past and you flipped it off.
I was walking my dog, I asked you.
No, you didn't. You said excuse me.
I did say excuse me, and don't tell me how to talk.
You have parents?
I live here.
Do your parents teach you to be rude?
Yeah, and I use my manners.
Yeah,
so
whatever.
You just shut your little mouth.
Well,
Okay?
you don't have to tell me what anything. I take
Shut your mouth.
We got
Shut your mouth.
Go ahead, you wanted the attention, attention's on you. What you didn't do with that baseball bat?
Are you about to do violence to people out here?
No, I'm definitely
You guys try to smash one of our stuff, hit us. What you want to do with that baseball bat?
Are you going to do violence to us out here?
This is my house.
This is our house too.
This is our home too.
Oh yeah, thank you. I know that, and I'm never rude to you.
All right, now you got a baseball bat.
What's that baseball bat doing?
Are you about to do violence to people out
Then
here?
put that bat down.
Are you a terrorist?
What's wrong with
Are you trying to hurt people out here with a baseball bat?
Why do you have a basketball?
Right, you walked off and brought a weapon. What you want to do with that weapon?
Go ahead and do violence to
Everyone, blast her, put her face up. This is the face of a person. What?
You're trying to hurt somebody.
You got all the attention, go ahead.
Are you about to hurt people?
Go ahead, go ahead. Make sure she has space. Yeah.
So you couldn't walk it correctly?
Yes, Dave. No, bro, you brought that back.
Go ahead. Do the fucking thing.
Trying to intimidate us with a baseball bat. You will not intimidate us.
Then why are you cursing me out? Why are you in my space and not walking the floor? I'm not trying to hurt anybody. You guys try to come.
Hey y'all, we're not gonna follow this crazy lady. If she wants to walk off, let her walk off.
Let her go. Giving her attention, giving us attention.
I got to say this to remember. This is injustice because this is too many. Some people are sick of just caring to get about like this. Community watch, we on the block every day, and we out there organizing with homeless folks. And we gonna build a block by block fight back, and we gonna fight the city, we gonna fight LAPD, we gonna fight all you haters, block by block, for every square in the concrete. We gonna fight you both.
But how you invest and how you spread your wealth is investing in people, getting them to look them and the best of yourself. That's how you look at humanity and dignity. If you want the best for yourself, then why can't you want the best for other people too, to live their best life? But I also want the people that are not here, that if they can't be out here physically, they can also contribute to some of these well-deserved organizations that have been on the fight from the beginning. If you can donate some time, join up for some of the power-ups. Join up for some of the outreach that we're going to need to do to understand and educate the unhoused that are not here, that may not understand how this impacts them.
$41.18 is unjust. It was always been unjust, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It is divide human beings and erase their humanity. But this is one of the most important civil rights issues of this time. This is the beginning of how, when concentration camps and the Nazi era and the Holocaust happened, this is the beginning. It did not just start off like just out of the blue. They erased the unhoused, but the strange, bizarre thing of it is, nobody had a problem with the unhoused or mentally challenged. They utilized that as a justifying to erase. So I ask you today, while you're sitting here listening or at home or whatever, and enjoying a pumpkin spice latte, to ask yourself, when you're seeing this happen, and you're seeing the police running around talking about that they're giving compassionate care while they're locking them up or placing them outside the district with this 4118 thing, who will it be next? Because once they go after I finish attacking the unhoused, they're not going to stop.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? First, I just want to talk about like the programs that they give unhoused people. It's just made to be like you don't want to go. Like on Edna in the San Fernando Valley, it looks like a work release program for prison.
Concentration camp.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like this is California. Rent is high. Rent is extremely high. You should be able to work at McDonald's and pay rent. You cannot. You cannot. So if all the workers that are doing stuff for you, it can't even afford rent, you know what I mean? Like how are we supposed to get our hand up? And then and I feel like these government programs, like they're like even their names are made to like put me down. Yeah. Like Project Room Key. It's called Project Room Key, yet no one has a room key.
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're like, ha, ha, ha. You know what I mean? Have you ever seen a bridge home? I don't know if you guys live in homes and stuff. That's not no bridge to any home I've ever been from. Like, what home are we coming from?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, the bridge home looks like a prison.
Right.
Colored by Martha Stewart. You know, just because they put some orange and some lime green, it's got barbed wires around it. Nobody's trying to get in that.
Right?
You know what I mean? And it's just like these tiny homes, that is so demeaning. It's a shed.
Oh my God, dude, right?
If you and when they tell you how much it costs to pay for that one, they could have just did a apartment building or something.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they put us in a tiny home. It's a tiny shed. It's a cell. You know, it's a box, it's a cell.
Yep.
You know what I mean? For being homeless? No. And then you ask me why I don't want to go to these programs where as an adult, it's like a group home thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. As an adult, I have to come in by 10 o'clock or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm homeless? No, I don't think so. Like, I didn't come in there because I have a record or whatever or any of that. You know what I mean? You're gonna put me in a tiny house. It's a shed. If you guys ever see the tiny house, it's demeaning. And any fucking city council person that fucking takes a picture by that and is okay with it is stupid.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. You're gonna keep me in a tiny shed and I have a curfew?
Fuck you.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, these programs are made so we don't want to go. You know what I mean? I can make a tent with as much room as I want.
And come and go as you want.
Yeah, and come and go as I want.
Hell yeah. And shower
you know
whenever
what I mean?
you want.
And not to mention, if you're a woman in these like group, you know, fucking shelters and stuff like that, they're so bothered. Not only are you harassed by the people that are going there, but staff too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They seem so bothered.
Oh, you had to do something. You got the flag.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you know, like when they say, oh, there's programs and stuff like that. No, nobody wants to go to any of those where they can be harassed and demeaned. Like, it's a fucking shed. And if not, you're in a cubicle. Yeah. You know, the project, you know, room key, you know, it's better because you got your own, but it's still like, you know, it's still demeaning, you know what I mean? It's called Project Room Key. No one has ever had a key.
Right.
These are like just the things that I think of. Every time I hear like a name of a program, I always laugh. It always makes me fucking chuckle. Every time. I'm like, what's the name of it? Oh, Bridge Homes.
Tiny homes.
I'm like, okay, so we just got doing 10 to 5. You know what I mean? Like, what bridge did we come from? And I don't even want to know where that bridge leads off from. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. And it's just like you want to displace us just to put us in this bullshit. And the whole thing is they can still do it and keep all the money.
Yep.
But you don't have to build some bullshit ass stuff. Like, I think it's just like so demeaning. Like they just built some, like, you know, you could have did that and still, like, you know, inflated your pockets without being so fucking demeaning.
Right.
Real shit.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we have all these rules for what? Not being able to afford rent in California? Not in California, in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Like,
anywhere.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And they wonder why we don't want to go. No, as an adult, I don't want to have a curfew just because I can't afford rent. You know, if I have to go to an interview, I have to ask my employer and all this other stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have to show like proof and stuff. That automatically makes an employer biased against me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all these hoops and everything. And as I've been in Project Room Key, my caseworker has never ever really tried to get in contact with me.
Yeah.
Never. And it's just like it's just made for like nobody. They're not doing their job. A caseworker should have a mandatory meeting with their client once a week, no matter what. Yeah. No matter what. Should not be up to me to it should be a standing thing. We know that's going on, and I show up. Reach out to me, do something, you know what I mean? Like they ask all these questions. No, and then when I go downstairs to make an appointment, it's a week off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, the programs aren't made, and the people that are working there have power trips, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah. And I just keep, I'm arguing with these people, and, they're, because I'm a little bit late, you want to kick me out and stuff like that. And I'm just like, you're not putting any kids to college on this fucking salary. That's right. You know what I mean? And they be just power tripping on us. Like, all of a sudden, I'm less than. Like, it's a whole cesspool of uncomfortableness. You know what I mean? And that's the programs that are being offered. Ran by fucking power tripping, regular old folks with fucking carceral rules. You know what I mean? Like, even in jail, my sister can come and visit. Right? Real shit. Like, you know what I mean? We get written up if we visit inside the rooms. If I have a friend at the hotel, I can't go into their room. Yep. You know what I mean? And they wonder why people get isolated and get depressed, and they're just in their rooms getting their drugs in or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and they make it sad. You know what I mean? Like, they have a pool there. They have they have a gym and stuff. Something that can maybe. Well, we're not allowed. They even took out the ice machines. Oh wow! You know what I mean? When we get there, they take out the ice machines. Like, this is how this shit is ran. Like it's like given to us, but it's real carceral and it's real demeaning. And I just feel like it's unneeded. It's unneeded. And so if you wonder why we don't want to go to these programs, that is why. Yeah.
We have one life to live.
When I was ready to get back on my feet as far as move away from the programs, I found out about a property over at the Sepulveda VA. It's called ND or New Direction Sepulveda, which is a permanent supportive housing situation where you pay rent, but you also have services and social work if you need it. So in 2016, moved there. it wasn't until about 2018 that I started to notice some major issues as far as infrastructure goes. As far as the water goes, I mean, this is a sample from the water over at the apartment.
For people that are seeing it, this looks brown, even though the light hopefully can catch the brown color to that. That's what's coming out of the faucet?
Correct.